We are gathered here today to sip some tea, honey, so make sure you guys have your teacups ready because this tea is what? Piping hot. Hey you guys, it's your girl T and I hope everybody's doing good today. Make sure you guys have your teacups ready.
Get ready. Y'all get ready.
Yes, you get ready. Because this tea is what? Piping hot. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. So I want to come on here and talk about the situation that's been going on in Austin, Texas. I've been keeping up with it just because I don't do videos on stuff. Doesn't mean I'm not keeping up with what's going on. But I know a lot of you guys want me to talk about this. So if you guys don't know, ever since March 2nd, there's just been a string of like package bombings down there in Texas. And a lot of my Texas subscribers, you know, have been going through it. You know, people have been nervous because it was a 39-year-old man that was killed. He was just simply opening a package. Then the following week, a teenager was killed. Well, there had been 6 bombs in total. So a lot of people were just, you know, going through a lot of anxiety. It got to the point where I was scared to open packages. I'm not even in Texas, okay? So I want you guys to go ahead and watch this video that kind of gives you a timeline of everything that's been going on. Check this out real quick.
Bombs. Authorities now investigating if there is a possible serial bomber on the loose in Austin, Texas. The first bomb in a package left at a home,
killing 39-year-old Anthony House.
The following week, 2 more packages on the same day, both exploding. A teenager was killed and a woman badly injured when the device went off at their front door.
A 4th bomb detonated next to a street in a residential subdivision and was triggered by a tripwire strung over a sidewalk.
A bomb exploding, seriously injuring 2 men. The 4th attack in less than 20 days.
A 5th bomb exploded Tuesday at a FedEx distribution center about an hour south of Austin. A female worker with minor injuries was treated and released. The 6th bomb, which did not detonate, at a different FedEx distribution center.
The suspected serial bomber in Texas is now dead after that showdown with a SWAT team overnight. They believe he's linked to 6 explosive devices that killed 2 people.
All right, so you guys just saw that video. So now as of 3 o'clock this morning, I got the alert to my phone that the serial bomber was caught. He was in front of the Red Roof Inn in his truck and basically ended up detonating another bomb and killing himself. His name was Mark Anthony Conditt and he was 24 years old. But what I find funny with this situation, like every situation that happens to deal with the white male, he does not get the title of terrorist. And what he did was definitely a terroristic act. But I'm seeing the news media just calling him by his first, middle, and last name. No terrorist being attached to his name. You know, this entire situation is just really crazy. And I'm glad that he's no longer here. I want you guys to go ahead and watch this news clip and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
There's breaking news from Austin, Texas. Police say they have discovered a 25-minute confession recorded on a cell phone by the serial bomber where he describes the bombs that he constructed. Authorities say that 23-year-old Mark Anthony Conditt killed himself by exploding one of his bombs as police closed in on him. We are using his name and photos of him only because police are asking if you knew this young man to please call them and share what you know. As you know, we wouldn't normally do that. Investigators say he was responsible for 5 homemade pipe bombs that exploded in and around Austin in the last 3 weeks, killing 2 people, injuring 4 others. Now, law enforcement sources say a key break in the case was this surveillance video of the bomber at a FedEx location days ago, wearing a hat, a blonde wig, and gloves, and mailing 2 packages. Then early this morning, police surrounded the suspect. The nightmare came to a deadly conclusion. Randy Kay has details.
Before dawn in Round Rock, Texas, about 20 miles outside Austin, authorities are closing in. This is where the string of bombings began. And soon, this is where it will end. Investigators are working on a tip they'd received about a person who, by now, had officially become a suspect.
We ultimately located the vehicle that this suspect was known to be driving. We found that at a hotel right up the road here in Round Rock.
Law enforcement surrounds the hotel while they wait for backup from ballistics and tactical units. They don't contact the suspect, but suddenly around 4 a.m., he drives away, though it's unclear if he'd noticed he was being watched. Police follow him. His car goes into a ditch.
The vehicle ended up stopping in the bar ditch on the side of the road behind us.
At about 4:45 a.m., a showdown is underway.
As members of the Austin Police Department SWAT team approached the vehicle, the suspect detonated a bomb inside the vehicle.
A bomb inside his own vehicle, taking his life. During the confrontation with the suspect, a SWAT officer was knocked back from the blast, and another fired on the suspect. By 6 a.m., the official announcement, the suspect is dead. Authorities later identify the suspect as Mark Anthony Conditt, a 23-year-old white male from Pflugerville, Texas, just outside Austin. They believe he's responsible for all the bombings in the area since March 2nd. Still, whatever motivated the suspect to terrorize his community is still a mystery.
That's the one thing we don't have right now, is a motive behind this.
Police are trying to figure out if he was working alone, interviewing his family and roommates. The suspect was homeschooled and briefly attended Austin Community College, but did not graduate. His grandmother described him to CNN as very quiet, low-key, and peaceful. On his record, a single traffic violation. Nothing that ever would have indicated something as terrifying as this.
So, Randy, I understand the bomber had an online blog. What do we know about that?
Anderson, we got access to that blog from Austin Community College. It was part of a U.S. government class project. He attended that college until 2012. And the blog is on a range of topics. He blogs against the idea of free abortion, suggesting women shouldn't have sex if they don't want to have a baby. In another blog post, he suggests doing away with the sex offender registration, arguing that all it does is cause people to shun that person and keep them from getting a job. And in another blog, he actually argued against same-sex marriage, saying if that's protected by law, then bestiality and pedophilia should be protected as well, Anderson.
All right, so you guys just watched that news clip, and I'm noticing a lot of people putting on their conspiracy hats and saying that, you know, their tin hat is tingling, you know, and you guys know I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Now, a lot of people are saying that, you know, the police, they had to have known, because how were they able to just find them so fast? You know what I mean? They had to get warrants and everything else. First of all, calm down, young conspiracy theorist. This is how the FBI works. They don't need warrants and all that shit. Okay. Basically, what messed this man up? This is not the Unabomber of the 90s. What messed him up is technology. Okay. You can't be doing dirt. Meanwhile, you have a cell phone in your damn pocket. Okay. So I feel like this is how he was caught. All they had to do was literally ping all of the cell phone towers within a square mile radius of where all these bombs were taking place. So once they ping those towers and they see, here goes a cell phone that's pinging to this tower at 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's see what that's about. Then at that point, all they have to do is send AT&T, Sprint, Verizon a subpoena. And those subpoenas, they tend to respond to those fairly quickly, especially when it's an emergency situation like this. Okay. So they submit a subpoena. They're able to narrow it down, who was out there, what cell phones pinged, and they were able to track the cell phone information back to the name that the cell phone was registered to. Once they were able to do that, they were able to go into the data and see what this fool was Googling, what he was researching, and I'm sure a lot of that stuff was coming up. How to make bombs, where to drop off bombs, how to do whatever, I am the bomb. Anything that had to do with bomb, this dude was probably Googling on his phone, on his laptop, and everything else. So that is what messed him up, was him trying to do dirt along with technology, okay? So I'm bringing up the technology aspect to say this. As a proud / conspiracy theorist, I believe that a lot of this information that's coming out, I think the question that everybody should be asking themselves is, are you willing to give up your freedom for security? Because I really feel like that's what they're pushing with this situation. They're pushing this whole situation like, look, if we didn't have access to his technology, if we didn't have access to monitoring him, we wouldn't have been able to figure out who did this. Even though in the 90s, they didn't have access to all this stuff and they still caught the Unabomber. But with that being said, I feel like this is where this is leading to, that there would definitely be more surveillance on the people. You would definitely be watched. We're already all being watched. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you're going, you're being tracked by your mobile devices, by your cell phones, GPS, mobile apps and everything else. So we're all already being watched. But I feel like this situation is definitely being used to push a narrative and to condition people to say, you know what? You guys need to stop crying over your freedoms. You guys shouldn't mind being watched, because at the end of the day, it's about security and keeping people safe. Okay. Now, I also see a lot of people saying that this is fake. He's a patsy. They're just doing this to strip us of our freedoms. You know how all the comments just get crazier and crazier as the hours go by. I don't know about all that, but I do believe that they are pushing the whole, security versus freedom narrative. But at the end of the day, it's about the victims. We have a young boy who lost his life, and we have an older gentleman who lost his life, and a woman who was literally, mauled because of these bombs. You have innocent people being affected by a damn weirdo and a nutcase, and they're saying that he was doing all of this because he's upset about, the government and the way that the world is going. If you're upset about that, then take your own damn life, okay? Don't sit there and play God with other people's lives. Thank goodness that last package at FedEx didn't blow up, but somebody there are multiple people there could have been killed. You know, so this entire situation is sad, you know. And of course, he went out like a typical punk by, you know, detonating a bomb and taking his own life. But I'm glad that he's gone. But hopefully this is not going to create another situation where we have more copycats. So I say this to say that, you know, people need to be very smart, be very vigilant. If you didn't order anything, if you're not expecting a package, I'd be very wary of just opening random packages that are left on your stoop. Also, let's say you do an order from like Amazon or, you know, Target.com or something, you know, track that order. Make sure that it's leaving the shipping station. Just do your due diligence when, you know, receiving and opening packages, because unfortunately cases like this always cause a monkey see, monkey do effect. And it's really sad that this grown ass man, you know, felt the need to go this route because he's upset at the state that the world is in today. But this just goes to show you that this is not the same world of yesteryear where you can do all types of dirt and not be discovered, you know. So technology played a big role in him getting caught and him getting captured, you know, and I'm glad that he was, you know, eventually found out, because I don't think he would have stopped. I think he loved the attention. He loved seeing this on television. He loved seeing this trending. He loved seeing the hashtags. He was getting a thrill off of this, and I think that he would have kept on going had he not been caught. So kudos to the feds and the police for doing their job and capturing this man. You know, granted he killed himself, but at least, you know, they narrowed it down and found out who it was. But I would not be surprised if other people are involved. I would not be surprised if his roommates may know more than what they're letting on, because he did live with 2 other people. And last but not least, I would love for the mainstream media to call shit how it is, okay? If this was a Muslim guy, they would have no problem calling him a terrorist. But whenever a white guy goes crazy and does some, you know, dumb shit, all of a sudden he's only called by his first, middle, and last name, as opposed to being called terrorist Mark Anthony Conditt, okay? I would have preferred to see that type of headline than the headlines I was seeing this morning. But anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire situation concerning, you know, well, the capture / suicide of the bomber down there in Austin, Texas. How do you guys feel about this? And then do you agree with me that technology played a big part in him getting caught? And then also, do you agree with me that this is also going to cause a big debate and a big discussion on, you know, do we cherish our freedoms, or should we cherish, you know, security, and should we allow ourselves to be monitored even more because of situations like this? So go ahead and grab your tin hats, grab your teacups, and let's get the discussion popping. All right, deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.